Hey, what's going on, world? It's me again, Ethan Smith, aka Big Sarge, large and in charge of my one and only self, taking myself up off the shelf to discover my greatest internal and external wealth, hoping that you do the same for yourself. You know what it is. It's time to take that thing up off the shelf, express yourself, because that's what we're here to do. It's grunt speak. I'm speaking to you. So you got to come on here. You got to speak to me too. Speak, grunt. That's what we do. 11B, 11 Charlie, 11 Alpha 2. The families who support you, I'm speaking directly to you. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to come through. We're going to speak. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have fun too. And you got to go back and forth with me in the chat because it's just me. So you got to have my back. My man Whiskey Charlie, y'all know where he at. He at the Home Depot. He had to work today. Said he got to do it overnight, so I had to bring it to y'all anyway. But anyways, it's Speak Grunt. By grunts for grunts. Everybody welcome, but everybody cannot or will not be a member. This may not be for your kids, but it'll bless them if they listen. Some of the words that I use may not be for the best for kids, but the message will be a blessing to them. But anyway, how y'all doing today? Sean Connor, what's going on, man? What's going on? Chris Drake, what's going on, man? How you doing? Chris Drake, I think this is my first time seeing you. I'm not for sure. It don't matter, but welcome, brother. Thank you for tuning in. Please be sure to click down below, share this video on your page, tag me in this page, go to our YouTube channel too, and make sure you subscribe. That's what I need you to do for me. That's what I need you to do for me. I appreciate that. So, going with that, I need you to do me a favor and drop this down in the chat. Yo, 1 minute win, yo, 1 minute war. Where you at with that? And let me be clear, just in case you've never heard me talk about it on here. So, your 1 minute win, something you've been successful in, something you've overcame, something that you learned. Your 1 minute war, something that you've been battling with, something that's been knocking at your door, something that's been you've been struggling with, that's been frustrating you, an attack on your family, or something spiritual, or something just financial, something that you warring with. Tell me what that war is, and tell me how you're gonna win in the end, or what you're winning at. So let's end what you win. That's what I like to say. While you typing it down in the chat, I'll tell you where I'm at with mine. My 1 minute war. Where am I at? Getting my schedule back on track. Getting my schedule back on track and understanding that in order for me to truly get to the best version of me, Big Sarge, the leader that I was caught up on to be for my men who believed in me, I have to get to the schedule to truly define me. So the war is, not having a schedule set just right. The win is understanding and knowing that I'm not too old or I'm not too far beyond, and know that I have to have a schedule. See, knowing yourself is very important. Knowing which individual you are, knowing which team you with, but knowing what you need, being self-aware. So the war is that the schedule is out of whack. I haven't got it set on track yet, but the win is understanding that once the schedule is on track, then I begin to win. So that's what I'm dealing with. That's what I'm battling through, but I'm excited about the journey that I'm going through. What you got for me? Maybe you got a 1 minute win and a 1 minute war too. And if typing it down in the chat ain't what you want, that's not what you want to do. Maybe you more expressive like I am. You want to get on the camera too. So if that's something that you want to do, drop me your name down in the chat, your Facebook. I'll follow you, and then I will send you a link where you can jump on the camera if you want to, and we can go back and forth and talk about a little bit of that. So your 1 minute win, your 1 minute war, where you at? Well, I guess everybody doing well and doing great. They don't have nothing what they war with today. What's been going on in the world anyway? I was looking up some things earlier today, and being that this is somewhat of an Army show, wouldn't you like to know that the Army flew Chris Adams. See, the problem I have with schedules is that too much happens in that time frame. The problem I have with schedules is that too much happens in that time frame. Man, you got to take me in there. That's deep. I don't understand how too much happening would be a problem in that time frame. I know for me, when I've had a schedule set before, realizing all the things that I could accomplish made the schedule that much more interesting to me. And then it realized, how much time I was wasting and how much I would enjoy my free time when I took it. So that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Thinking about scheduling and thinking about the topic of tonight's show, who's your pick, kind of going with that Super Bowl theme. It's interesting, probably the schedule of each individual team, from getting to the hotel, from the media day, from the time they have to take out to put in new plays, to practice some of their old plays, trick plays, all the extra attention coming their way. Like, scheduling is probably a problem for them too, and it's probably getting a lot done, but it's probably overwhelming for them too. Just interesting. And also, who's your pick? Is it the Bengals with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase? I believe that's his name. Is that an LSU connection? If you know, let me know down there in the chat. And it's the Los Angeles Rams with Mr. Stafford by way of the Detroit Lions, by way of the Georgia Bulldogs, by way of somewhere, I think, here in Texas, up in the Dallas area, maybe. But Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and OBJ and Aaron Donald. Who's your pick? Who's your team? Who you rocking with? You picked to be 11B, or did it pick you? When 11Bs come through, we like to be boastful and arrogant. We feel like we are it. Nobody's above us unless we see somebody from the special forces. So let's say you have set things. So let's say you have set things that you have to get done, and then 60 different inconveniences happen in between those set things, and you can't get anything accomplished. The question I would then ask, if you do have 60 things, let's say you have set things that you have to get done. How many things are you setting? And oh, yes, they both went to LSU. How many things are you setting, and what's the priority of those things? Right? And then say the 60 different inconveniences that's happening in between those sets. What's the priority level of those inconveniences, right? So, using myself for an example, I said I need to write 3 speeches. This is just for me. This is just Big Sarge. Or we could take it back to the military, doing land nav. I want to go from point A to point B, right? So you said that, but your battle buddy, he comes over and he's calling you and he's talking about his weapon. He's asking you about the back absmiths. He's asking you all these other things to get you thrown off track, right? Inconveniences, right? But the whole thing, the whole mission was you are setting a point, you're setting a direction. So before you take off, you had to refocus. What was I doing? Let me get rid of this, what he's talking about, because it's not priority. So what are those inconveniences and where do they fall on the priority ladder? Because you're absolutely right. When we do set plans, inconveniences do come, but we get to decide if we answer to those inconveniences or not. You want to land nav course and just call it for what it is. One of your battles is lost. You don't want to give them no answers because you don't know if nobody watching you, especially if you went to some type of special forces school or selection school, some higher upper echelon school. You don't know if nobody watching you. So you're doing everything that you need to do. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, you have to set things that have Let's say you have to set things that you have to get done, and there's 60 different things. You just have to prioritize the things, man. We just have to prioritize the things. It's like using the rules of engagement. We had a set rules of things that was going to get done, and then other inconveniences happened during that time and space in the battlefield, and then you had to escalate higher into those rules of engagement. Sometimes you're going to have things set in your life and planned to go in your life, and all type of attacks and inconvenience is going to come your way. You're going to have to go to a higher level of your rules of engagement, maybe for cutting people off, maybe for taking a break from people, maybe telling people no. But you're going to have to go to a higher level of rules of engagement so you can complete the mission or the task that you want to get done. You got to pick. You got to pick your team. You got to pick if you're going to serve them or serve you. And I get it. Service is what we're all called to do, but you cannot truly serve anyone else if you don't learn how to serve you. Boom. So that's how I believe we get rid of some of those inconveniences, by processing and prioritizing. What do you got for me? Excuse me. Thank you. 1 Minute War is dealing with putting too much on my plate because I compare myself with people on higher levels than me that I look up to. Ooh, brother, I feel you on that. Remind me, get into that. My one win would be me always leveling up and outgrowing people around me. 1 Minute War is dealing with putting too much on my plate because I compare myself with people on higher levels than me that I look up to. You know, I understand. I do believe I understand what you're saying. Say for example, inspirational speaking. Again, that's my thing. And I watch a lot of Eric Thomas. I watch a lot of David Goggins. I watch a lot of Tony Robbins, Les Brown, TD Jakes. I've listened to a host of guys. And at times in my life, I compared myself to each one of those individuals, somebody I look up to, or even someone as a friend from my Toastmasters group, right? I began to compare myself, my right now, to their right now, having no idea where their beginning was or where they was at in order to get to where they are, right? All because my perception is maybe they're doing better than me, maybe they're doing more than me, and maybe they are, but maybe it's just their stage of life that they're doing it in, right? I think that's a war that we all kind of struggle with from time to time because we are taught or indoctrinated into all coming together, all attempting to fit, all attempting to be the same. So when you see someone with something that looks like success or look like something you or we should have, we start to compare what we have to what they have. We wasn't really, say for example, in the military, the infantry would compare our M4s to transportation M4s, right? And you could feel good about yourself because you got an M4 collapsible barrel, you got an ACOG or M68 red dot, you got a high-speed tack lights, you got a hand grip, you got the hand grip with the bipod legs that pop out, you got all this sexy hoo shit, and they over here with this M16A1, M4A1, right? So you comparing apples to oranges, but then you see your weapon compared to a special forces or a ranger weapon, you like, ooh wee. Then you don't feel so good, right? We have to be comfortable with where we at, regardless to where somebody else is at, and understand that our right now is our right now for a reason. That's it. And like you said, my win would be me always leveling up and outgrowing the people around me. So even in seeing that and comparing yourself, you also checking yourself to make sure you continue to grow and not starting to look at it like a woe is me situation. So that's definitely a win. But comparison is the thief of all joy. So always finding the stretch in the little things we do in the way you pick and in which way you decide to go as a win, as your victory. Sean Connor says Bengals is who I'm rooting for. Me too. I'm rooting for the Bengals too. It's something about that kid Joe Burrow that I don't know. He just seems like he got some of that it factor. He got that moxie. He plays with maybe a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. I think it'll be interesting for the simple fact that I'm not an Ohio guy. I'm a Detroit, Michigan guy. I'm the U of M Wolverines guy. You know, Ohio is like Ohio State to me. But I may not like some things about that area, but I respect the person and I respect the player. So Joe Burrow is somebody who I feel like, who's good for the team, who's good for the building. He's like that specialist, that team leader, that battle buddy who's always gonna have a positive outlook on life, and he's gonna fight to the bitter end for you. He's gonna give it all he's got. Then after the victory is when he's gonna glow. So I'm rocking with Joe Burrow, and him being an Ohio kid growing up 2-3 hours from Cincinnati. What that'll do for that city, like I just think that underdog story would be dope in comparison to the Rams. That's just a team that's probably bought to win a championship. No offense to Matthew Stafford, but I've been saying in my mind that he's been overrated even when he was at the Detroit Lions, and I'm from Detroit, but hey, that's a whole nother story. Anyhow, I'm going with the Bengals. Yes, I'm going with the Bengals too, Sean. Let's see what he got for me. Somewhat I look up to these people and I'm inspired by what they're doing, and I realize that I can have it all. So there. So therefore, I mentally make a list and aim for it. Aim for that. That's dope. That's dope. I absolutely understand that, and I get that. I just anytime I see the word compare, maybe I take it on from a mindset that I had once before, and sometimes could still carry. And it's like we have to be careful with the words we use. Going back to comparing the weapons or comparing Lowe's to Home Depot, you know what I'm saying? Comparing Chevy to Ford. People sometimes make it out of something that is not. But when you are not comparing, you're admiring something that someone else is doing that you want to emulate. I think that's a different story, and it sets it in a different trajectory for your life to begin to resemble those things that you admire, in that individual as compared to what they have versus what I have. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's pretty dope. I think that's pretty dope. It's just like me saying, who's your pick, who's your team. You turn on a Sports Center to ESPN. I usually like to watch Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. So that's usually my show. If I'm gonna watch any sports things on YouTube, I don't really sit down and watch ESPN anymore. So they're often debating, comparing, Aaron Donald versus Matthew Stafford, meaning who would be more valuable in the game? Would you rather be without this individual or that individual? It's like when you picking your team in the military, who would you rather be without? Would you rather be without the experienced E5 team leader, or would you rather be without the young private who's expert on the 240? Well, I would rather be without the young private because the experienced E5 team leader can shoot the 240 as well. He's probably still young and agile and mobile and strong, but if I'm comparing their age, also just comparing the look based off not the knowledge, then I could be in trouble. So, but when I admire what the E5 has done, when I admire what the private has done, and I realize which skill set works best for me. I admire them both, but which skill set works best for me? Oh, okay. Well, my admiration for what he does at this time is what works best for me. It's, if you got Matthew Stafford and you on offense and you're an offensive team, then at that time, Matthew Stafford may be the most valuable player to Sean McVay. But if you think this is going to be a defensive battle or defensive struggle, then of course you need Aaron Donald. They say defense win championships. So when you pick your team of individuals, do you select offensive people first, people that's just in their feelings, people who react out of emotion, people who react impulsive, people who are just want to squeeze the trigger first and ask questions later? Or do you pick the tactician, or do you pick the Tom Brady? Do you pick the Peyton Manning? Do you pick the tactician, or do you pick the bombs away? Who's on your team? Who do you pick? Or who would pick you? Who would pick you? And what skill set would you be useful for? Ooh, 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 ooh. I think the Super Bowl will be very interesting. I was kind of picking Cincinnati Bengals versus the 49ers. Once my boy Tom Brady was out of it, that was my thought process. I thought it'll be a replay of the '80s Super Bowl when the Cincinnati Bengals had a man by the name of Icky Woods who had the Icky Shuffle with his little touchdown dance. I don't remember it. I don't know it like that, but yeah, a little shuffle, Icky Shuffle, right? But nope, the 49ers didn't pull it off, and that's okay. So I'm still going with Cincinnati. Since they took out everybody in the AFC, I figured they would be the team to beat, and I think it will be very interesting. Somewhat I look up to these people. Also, in latest news, talking about picking teams, I'm not sure how many of you are watching the Olympic Games, but I found it interesting that the United States is in one, two, three, fourth place in the medal count. And it threw me off looking at the medal count because they had Germany as number one. But in all actuality, Germany is not number one. It's actually a country of Austria, not to be confused with Australia. Team Austria is in first place with the total medal count, but Germany's in first place with the total amount of gold medals. It's almost like, do you want the team? Do you want the NFL MVP on your team, or do you want the individual who's going to help you win a Super Bowl on your team? Who's your pick? Who are you surrounding yourself with? The person that's going to bring eyesight because of their individual accolades, or the person that's going to be eyesight because he's building a team and everyone around him is getting better, so therefore he'll be seen. To me, when I look at Cincinnati and Joe Burrow, they have a team. When I look at the LA Rams, they have a bought thing. Is your team bought, or do y'all have a thing? Is it something you building? See, in the Army, our team, especially in the infantry, was something that had to be built. You could remove some pieces. Yes, of course you could. But once you got a good team of individuals together, been about 6 months, a year, and everybody had it understood what the hand and arm signals meant and how we did things, it was very, very interesting. I had some amazing teams. And a lot of times my teams will get picked to go on certain missions that other teams wouldn't get picked to do. I'm just being honest. And sometimes I'll put us in that position because I was competitive too. So it's very, very interesting. I haven't even started getting into the Super Bowl commercial talks about and the things. I think it'll be interesting. But at the end of the day, whoever I pick, I'm going to be okay with which way the wind goes because, again, it's just a game. It's not the end of the world, man. It's not something I'm going to wake up and talk about the next Monday morning. I might speak about it for about 5 minutes or so while I'm at work because it'll be a topic for conversation. Not really. It'll be Valentine's Day. I'll be celebrating my wife that morning. So I have a pick just because it'll be water cooler conversation. But for real, at the end of the day, I pick what the big man above say. So I can figure it out how I'm supposed to continue to serve you guys to get you inspired to do things your way, to help your brother, to help your sister who may be going through something today. This thing is bigger than just seeing my face. And one day my face going to go away. Not exactly in a DEAD dead sort of way right away, but to where you'll be seeing somebody else's face sitting before you. And I'll just be maybe talking in the background or doing other things too. But the thing is to grow this thing right before you so people will want to pick our team because you showed them what you were able to grow through. That's all I'm really talking about to you, is you picking you to be the best version of you. You've already overcome so much. You've already been through so much. People have no idea what you've been through. You're either comparing yourself or aspiring to be like someone else because you admire something that you've seen somebody do. And that's cool because we all learn from somebody if we are just willing to change our perspective or change our view. See it for what you want it to be, not what it used to be. And say that again just in case you ain't hear me. See it for what you want it to be, not what it used to be. Most people probably gonna pick the Los Angeles Rams because that's what they want it to be. That's what they think it should be. That's what it used to be. What do I mean by they used to be? They got the high power athletes, the big name athletes, the OBJ and the Aaron Donald, you see. And they got Matthew Stafford, the old gunslinger from the Detroit City. That's what it's supposed to be. But old Joe Burrow and them, they see something else that everybody else don't see. They see what they want it to be. They see they made it through the AFC, and everybody was talking about, look at Cincinnati. I'm just saying, you can be counted out too, but what do you see for you? Who's your pick? Who's your pick? Do you pick you? Would you pick you? Would you bet on you? Well, what would you bet on you to do? How much time would you give yourself to do it in? Who would it benefit if you did it? Who would suffer if you don't? Pick the right team. This ain't about a Super Bowl thing. This is about a super human being. All I'm saying is you got to pick the right team. PTSD that we go through, alcoholism too, weed, popping prescription pills, maybe porn, whatever it is that you still do that's got a hold on you. Once you decide to start building a team around you and picking the right team, the Super Bowl will be your ultimate dream. Let me see what you're saying on this thing. Love that. Inspire to be greater. I just posted something like this morning. I bet on me every day and we beating the odds. Absolutely right. See on here, I'm Ethan Smith, aka Big Sarge, larger than charge, and I attempt to keep it military, but it's always inspirational because outside of here, what I'm really doing is my Mr. Peen, which yeah, that thing right there. My Mr. Peen, which is positive in every negative. That's my inspirational thing. So you're absolutely right, man. We have to speak it over our life. We have to speak it into our life in order to get our life right. And that's all I attempt to do with me and Whiskey Charlie every night. We veterans too. We got things we've been through. Even if you didn't serve, there's something that's been served against you. So we all get to choose. We all get to choose what team we pick, and it's a daily pick every day, good or bad, positive or negative. The words that we say, the words that we listen to, they define you. They take a shaping and a hold of you. So, yeah, man, I bet on me every day and definitely beating the odds. That's why you have to tell yourself what you winning at, what you warring with. You have to be real with yourself in order to get to the best version of yourself. Other people may not understand it. As long as you see it for yourself, that's when you're taking your greatest wealth, your greatest internal wealth and health up off the shelf. Seeing the best version of yourself, picking the best team for you, doing what they said you could not do. As I sit here before you, I did something that they said I could not do. I joined the active duty military and I quit that too. I went to Iraq and somebody told me I would be a horrible leader. I would get people killed too. Neither one of those things came true. I had a productive 15-year career in the military between the National Guard active duty, and I had a productive time in Iraq and Egypt too, and I brought back my whole crew. Both times. God bless me that way. So don't ever worry about what nobody say. Put a team of individuals who around you who believe in you, who want to see you make it through, who's willing to put the hard work in like you willing to do. You see what Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase is up to. They putting in the hard work and they built around each other. They got a crew. I ain't saying the Rams don't got something too, but they more of a bought team and a built team. It's things that they do differently. It's gonna be the Midwest against the West West. Ooh wee! And then that halftime show, that's gonna be a good one too. They got a team of individuals that's gonna come through the West Coast. Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg, and then you're bringing in some Kendrick Lamar and some Eminem from the Midwest, Detroit, West, where I'm from, and then Mary J. Blige from the East Coast. That's an amazing lineup. That's an amazing team of individuals to watch, to see how to get things done. If you my age in your 40s, you remember the NWA days, and to turn it around and put it right back in our face. This is how I'm doing things today. Look at my life and how it's changed. Well, thank you very much, Sean Connor. I appreciate that. A badass leader and still building through your outlet. That's my mission, man. That's my mission, to keep on doing three things: motivation, inspiration that leads straight into mind transformation. That's it. We all called to serve, and that's how I believe I'm supposed to serve you, by perfecting how I do those three things. That's what I'm going to do: motivate, inspire, which is going to assist in you transforming you to the best version of you, because there's all better things that we can do. So that's it, man. Be a part of the motivation, inspiration, the mid team crew. How are we gonna do? We're gonna build it up. I'm gonna have my wife, I'm gonna tell her one of my dreams and have it turn into a t-shirt thing, because I be having so many ideas, creatively thinking. That's why you have to have the right people on your team. My wife is the opposite of me. I am right brain, she left brain. See, I don't want to follow nobody else's schedule. I usually want people to follow me, but my wife is like, the scheduling is what help set everything in pace, and then you can run free. I just be wanting to run free before I schedule me. But anyhow, it's an interesting thing when you start to pick the people on your team and you start to serve the right team. For me, I feel like it's a God thing, it's a spiritual thing, not a religious thing or a man-made thing or a doctrine, but it's building a relationship thing with a higher thing, higher than yourself. And when you start to do that for yourself, you can overcome all that other type of stuff. You can overcome the PTSD. You can overcome the nightmares. You can overcome the poverty. You can overcome the fear of being around others, because you chose to look at it a different way. You decided to pick things differently. When I was in Iraq, I believe that 80% of the people were bad, 10% was good, and 10% didn't know. That was my thought process going in August of '06 or May of '06. Yeah, somewhere around there, May, August '06. But coming out, I realized that 80% was good, 10% was bad, and 10% was confused. It changed my perspective. It changed my views, because I was able to see what the people were really up to, you know? So you got to change your perspective. You got to change your view. You got to get the right team of people around you, people who support you, people who believe in you, people who want the best for what you are attempting to do. And you have to be the same individual in somebody else's team too. As it's given to you, you must give back to somebody else too. That's what we called to do. Is again, when you go get the infantry corps and you turn blue, you got senior leadership infantry corps that's then to welcome you, to promote you, to pin you. And if you get that honor, you go back and you would do the same thing too, because you welcoming somebody into the crew. Who's your pick? Who your team? Who around you? Well, he already said we supporting the Bengals crew. I'm okay with that, because the individual that I rock with the most, Tom Brady, retired. So on football, Big Sarge probably gonna be ghost. Treated like basketball, only watching around the playoff time or the championship, because I'm still chasing the life that I'm looking to build for me. So I'm building my team. I can't watch everybody else's team. It's the mid team. It's an inspiration thing. It's transforming. That's it, man. Listen, man, we can overcome anything if we are willing to change a thing. If we are willing to take control of this thing and put down that thing, where that phone thing at of mine. I don't even know where it's at right now. Oh, here it is. If we would take control of this thing and put down this thing, then our entire life could get real interesting. Then you could use this thing and this computer screen and this thing to bring you more things or greater things or be able to give away more things because you picked a whole new team. You picked the team of serving. You picked the team of growing. You picked the team of building. But you got to build this before you built by this. I pick your team. You got to pick your team based on the stats that you seen, not what they made interesting. Man. Sean, what do you say? Okay. Another interesting thing, thinking about picking teams. The Pro Bowl game, I heard was pretty interesting. Never usually really watched the thing. But what was more interesting afterwards, amen to that, big facts. I appreciate that. I know they posted a lot about Alvin Kamara getting into a physical altercation with somebody. That's been all over the news. You don't never want those type of views, man. People are always going to have something to say about you, but you don't want to give them any type of negative news. And I am not knocking the story in any way because I haven't read the story and I probably won't today or no other day. I just know how they are pointing it out in the media that day, like he did something that was very wrong and in an over aggressive way. I don't know. Somebody could have had something to say. They probably could have touched him in some way. I don't know. I'm just going off the story that the media is attempting to say. Depending again on who your team, it's going to be interesting how they paint the whole thing. See, right now, somebody else is just already putting their story out, putting Alvin Kamara on the TV screen and putting their headlines out, putting their hot reads out, putting their taglines out. But then eventually his team going to come back and they're going to talk about the whole thing. And then it's going to be interesting to find out why he even did the thing. But you get that same scene. You get that same scene. Everybody don't understand why you make the decisions that you do. Everybody didn't understand why I joined the army and volunteered to go to Iraq, not one time, but two. Then I went to Egypt 2 times too, and I went to other parts of the world too. People couldn't understand that for me. Why would I join that thing? But I understood that I wanted to be part of something more, part of a bigger team, part of something that was disciplining, something that was structuring, something that was different than what I had seen. I needed that thing in order to grow. I had to put myself on a different team. You need a team that's going to challenge you. Cincinnati gave Patrick Mahomes hell twice this year. Y'all seen what he went through. That ain't no fluke. And he gave it to the Tennessee Titans too. That ain't no fluke. You got to have a right mindset of individuals around you. You got to have people that believe in you. You got to have people that's willing to follow you. And you have to be willing to be a good leader and submissive to someone that's higher than you in order for you to get other individuals to do what you want them to do. You have to be a good team member too. That's all I'm saying to you. You get to pick. You get to choose. What's your question, Sean? Give it to me, brother. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. Mm-mm. I believe it's okay for me to say this while I'm waiting on Sean question to come this way. I want to send condolences to Chris Dykes. Y'all see him in the chat sometimes. He's a great dear friend of mine. His dad just passed away not too long ago, a couple of days or so ago, maybe a week or so ago. He was a veteran himself. He served, from what I understand, over 50 plus years. Great man, from what I understand. So I want to send my condolences to my brother Chris. Hopefully you're hearing this or you check this out. My condolences are with you, brother. You know I'm just a phone call away. Reach out to me any time of day, and if I see it, I'm gonna pick up, listen to what you got to say. So hopefully everything is going okay your way. All righty, what you got for me, Sean? All right. Every day I make a decision for my team, and sometimes I make decisions that people don't like, but it's best for the team. Sometimes it hurts me because I hate upsetting people. How do you deal with situations like this when you was leading your team? Every day I make a decision for my team, and sometimes I make decisions that people don't like, but it's better for the team. Sometimes it hurts me because I hate upsetting people. How do you deal with situations like this when you was leading your team? Very, very interesting. So, um, when it comes to dealing with problems and the betterment for the team, I want what's best for the team. And I know always that decision is not going to be best for everyone else. But as being the individual in that leadership position, it's a decision you have to make. So, really, how you have to do that in all honesty is putting feelings to the side and putting the facts first, and then helping the individuals who are in their feelings. Like me, I will be somebody who in my feelings, especially if we friends, feeling like you played me or you did something wrong to me. No, the fact of the matter is, this is what, case in point, right? I was in Iraq 2006. I was a team leader the entire tour for my 12 or 13 months there. I was a team leader, say 10 out of 12 months. Say I was a team leader. I rode lead truck. I rode point all the time. That was a good spot to be in, right? Now I was in the Michigan National Guard at that time, and the point system and the promotion system is it's weird. It's challenging. The best man that may not always get the job. The guy that gets the most points get the job. And I'm talking about making decisions for a team when it ain't the best and how you handle it, right? Story. So I'm in Iraq. I was team leader for those 10 or 12 months. I had a driver, Hedger, who was my driver, specialist, E4 type. This was his second tour in Iraq because he was with a different unit, the 425, I think. He was with a different unit, a high-speed Lurch team or something like that, right? Hedger was my driver for those 10 months, but what I did not know, and I don't even know if Hedger knew, Hedger had more points than I did. Now, points is how you got promoted from E4 to E5, and it was a point system throughout the state. You earn points from PT tests. You earn points from whether you went to school or not. You earn points from weapons qualification. And these things change every year, and you add up so many points, right? Now, I had been Hedger's team leader for 10 months, teaching him everything I know. Even though this is his second tour in Iraq, this is my first. We learned from each other, but I was in that leadership position, so I was probably more skillful and talented wise too, but I was in the position to make those decisions. Cool, right? Promotion came up. Hedger got promoted to E5 sergeant. Now I was an E4 corporal team leader. Now Hedger was an E5 sergeant, which meant he outranked me. My squad leader, being in the leadership he in, love him to death, Kibby, was like, all right, Smith, Hedger is now going to be the team leader. Garrisonly, meaning when you're in office work, when you in office work around the big wigs, and Garrison Hedger is like the team leader. When we out in sector, when we out on mission, you the team leader. and you're going to continue to train him and groom him pretty much to do this role. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that at all. Like, had you're an E5, he getting paid to do the job. I've taught him almost everything I know. Now he could do the job. I'm not doing it, period, point blank. I'm in my feelings because he got promoted and I didn't, right? Kibby, being a leader, had to get in his facts. Once he realized, okay, he in his feelings and that's friends, I ain't gonna be able to deal with him. Fact is, I got somebody that outranked him and who will know how to explain it to him, the company commander. I get sent to the company commander's office. The company commander tells me, look, you've been doing this job for the last 10 months or so. We know you qualified to do the job, and the way that things go bureaucratically ain't always right. But the fact of the matter is, you're going to continue to do the job. You have to continue to do the job. And as a good leader, you have to continue to train him to do a good battle handoff. Don't let the bureaucratic stuff get in the way, right? Leadership had to show me the facts. This is what we've been doing. This is the results of us doing that. Don't let the bureaucratic stuff get in the way. Don't let your feelings get in the way of a decision for everybody having to grow, right? Again, how do you deal with the situations like this when you lead in your team? I am making a decision for the good of the team, not just my feelings, because all the time it don't feel good when I have to make certain decisions. And as that leader, and you take people's opinions into consideration, you have to make the final decision. And you have to be okay with the decision you made. Like my old company commander told me going in Iraq, just make a decision, good, bad, or indifferent, because you have an opportunity to make another decision. What you don't want to do is delay because you listen to everybody else's opinion, everybody else's input, and what they want to get done. You're in that position because you are able to make decisions. So don't stop making decisions. The individuals that's upset are not upset with you. They're upset with themselves, and they're reflecting it on you because they didn't get what they want. So that's how I handle that. Hopefully I helped. Hopefully that was clear explanation. If not, let me know. It really is just having to make a decision. It's not being nasty. It's not being rude. It's not being mean. But it's understand that you're in a position of leadership for a reason to lead. And as a leader, you have to make sometimes tough decisions. And everyone's not going to like it. Say what we will. Trump, Biden, Obama, Clinton, Bush, Senior, Junior. Somebody has something to say about every last one of those presidents, but they still had to make decisions in order to lead. You still gonna have to make decisions and know everybody won't be happy, but you're gonna be okay. Boom. So yeah, I just make the decision, man. Cool. Prayers, we good. Thumbs up. I take it. Pick your team, man. We have to, man. I'm a feelings guy, like I talked about. I'm an inspirational speaker, certified life coach through Dr. Eric Thomas, ET, the hip hop preacher. You may know him either way, but certified life coach through his program, and it talks about that, knowing who you are, your behavioral traits, how you operate, and which superpower the most. So how you deal with problems in your life, how you deal with people in your life, your feelings, your emotions, your idea of want to express your opinions and things like that, how you like to move in life, the pace, the speed in life, the procedure. So it's so many things that's interesting that we don't slow down and know because we do not have the right team of individuals around us. Maybe you didn't get to pick your team. Maybe you were born into a family who built a team around you. But when you get old enough and wise enough to make different decisions for you, you got to build a team around you. So that's what I began to do. Now I'm part of the EE Extreme Execution Crew and life coaching. That's what I do for real. Yes, indeed. TGIM. Oh, yes, indeed. So I'm one of them. Yeah, I'm an extreme execution life coach certified through Eric Thomas. I have been since 2020. That's what I do as far as my business, and that's what I'm building with my Mr. Peen brand and my Ethan Smith coaching. So Yeah, man. That's so when we talk about feelings and things like that, I definitely understand that. We definitely should link. And I'm pretty sure I can help you out with some things that'll help you really put that leadership right on track where you want it to be. DM me your email address or whatnot, or put it right here in the chat. And I definitely how did I get certified? So I did a one week 1 week, 2 weeks webinar training in 2020. This when COVID was going on. I did a webinar training where you do a live session with ET, and then you start doing a live session with Jalen and then with Moose, and you work with each one of them for a period of time, and then you go through that process and you answer some questions and things like that at the end. And then you start going through your rep process and you become a part of a coaching community, which I'm a part of the EE coaching community. So, yep, all those same things. If you listening to him that he talks about the pilot, the flight attendant, the grounds crew, the air traffic controller, and using it with the Kyrie Irvings, the OBJs who we use it with before, after his surgery, and the Cam Newtons and things like that. Certified in that. That's what I do. That's what I do. This is just a part of me from the Army part that I like to bring in too, because it's inspirational. Let's see. Boom Town. See 2015 gmail.com. So that's Boomtown and C 2015 at gmail.com. Okay, cool. I got you. Yeah, Sean. So if you're interested, I definitely can send you over a link for a survey. You can take this survey link and then we can set up a time, a quick 30-minute consultation, and I can go over that survey with you and kind of break down what it's talking about and answer some other questions from there. If you're interested, you give me a thumbs up and I'll send it to this email address with your name attached to it. So, anyhow, picking the right team, it being very interesting. And I know I was going off a Super Bowl theme, but picking the right team is the people you surround yourself with. Okay, I got you, brother. I will send you the survey to the link tonight. It's gonna come from my Intermetrics Ethan Smith Mr. Peen tag, and you will have it. As a matter of fact, let me see something. Can I get a copy on that thing real quick? I'm looking to see. No. Oh well. I'll just type it in when I'm done. I figured I can get a copy real quick. And if I would have got a copy, I would have sent it to you right now. But yeah, definitely green like that thing and go. But getting the right team of individuals around you, man. And that's what I had to do. Start to immerse myself in a new team of individuals, even from dealing with the PTSD thing, in the military, dealing with the coming home from Iraq thing and getting back on track with that, dealing with the drinking thing, dealing with a divorce at one point in time in my life, dealing with finances at one point in time in my life. Like having to pick a different team. You couldn't stay around the same people who talking the same negative stuff, who still talking the same woe is me stuff if you want to get something different for yourself. So changing that team is definitely healthy for you. It is definitely. Oh man, yeah, my mic and screen went out. My apologies. I didn't even know. I was over there, to be honest with you. I was over there messing around with sending you the link to the survey. And I guess I clicked on the wrong page and took my whole self off. See? On the wrong team. I should have been focused on one thing and I just got off everything. And I looked up and was like, where's my screen? Thank you for being there, though, Sean. Anyhow, you should have that link to that survey that I talked about with you. I already sent that through. And then when you get done with it, it'll send me something back too. And I'll reach out to you with an email within the next 24 or 48 hours. So, and then we'll just go from there. But I hope that tonight everything was all right. You got something and we was able to shed a little bit more, a little bit light on some of your life to make your life a little bit brighter today. Picking the right individuals around you, picking the right team to help you get through. Knowing that story of the underdog is still true. As long as you got life, breath in your body, it's something that you're supposed to do. Don't let anybody tell you what you cannot do. Just surround yourself with people who believe in what you say you will do, what you visualize you'll do, what you know you're supposed to do. That's all I'm asking of you. Do what you called to do. That way you'll make it through. This been Grunt Speak. This been Speak Grunt. I'm thanking you for speaking to me too. I thank you for speaking to me too. Because that's what we supposed to do. This has been by Grunts, for Grunts, where everybody is welcome, but everybody cannot and will not be a member. 11B, 11 Charlie, 11 Alpha 2. You know who you are. You're part of that infantry crew, that 0311 from the Marine Corps too. We talking to you. I appreciate you coming through. I appreciate everything you do. Remember, this is what I need from you. Share this video with somebody you know. Go to the YouTube channel, click the link that says subscribe and hit the little bit bell so you'll know when we going live or we drop the new latest video. So that's it. I got to go. I'm going to go relax with my wife so I can get ready to go to bed at a decent time tonight. Y'all, peace. Y'all have a blessed and wonderful night. We'll see you next time. All right.